Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. I am Marcy Rader, the MoPro coach and lifestyle trainer for road warriors, business travelers, and mobile professionals. If you work more than 50% of your time out of a typical office, then you are a MoPro. This short webinar is based on my book, Hack the Mobile Lifestyle: 6 Steps to Work Well and Play More. My background is I have a degree in exercise science and a master's in health promotion, and I've been a certified personal trainer for about 20 years. I fell into the clinical research industry and worked for 13 years traveling domestically and internationally to work on pharmaceutical and medical device studies, and worked my way up the ladder until I became a senior corporate trainer, and not the personal trainer kind of trainer, but a trainer on systems and tools and technologies and processes. About 7 years ago, I developed a very strong interest in productivity and started reading every book that I could find on productivity, and ultimately became a certified productive environment specialist. So I'm a certified personal trainer, a certified productivity coach, lifestyle trainer for mobile professionals. Now I'm sharing what I've learned with busy people everywhere who want to be healthy and productive, because I don't believe that you can be healthy without being productive, and you can't be productive without being healthy. And when you're traveling on the road, it's even harder to be both. In March, I released a book, Hack the Mobile Lifestyle: 6 Steps to Work Well and Play More, on Amazon, and it covers health and productivity hacks in 6 areas: air, hotel, auto, mobile office, parties and meetings, and home. This web series will cover each of these areas for 6 weeks, and we've already covered air and hotel, and you can find those in the archives, but today we'll cover health and productivity hacks for the auto. So traveling by car all over your city or your region can mean fast food drive-thrus and sandwiches that come in wax glazed paper or styrofoam. Fast food is loaded with salt, sugar, and fat, and all of those things combined are going to make you really tired and smell like a grease pit for your next client. Fast food should really be considered emergency food, or a once-a-week treat. It's really just a treat. It's not a meal. Anything that is made up with a lot of scientists getting together trying to figure out how we can make it the most addicting is really more like foodstuffs and not really food. So what can you do? Well, one thing you can do is pack a cooler. Oh my God, it's so much work. Not really. It's really not that much work, and if your health isn't worth 10 minutes the night before or even 5 minutes in the morning, then you're probably not ready to watch this webcast because you're not really committed to your health. Here are some things that you can easily do on the weekends, or make on the weekends, or even pick up at a grocery store. And that's one thing that people who travel or are on the road a lot forget about, is a grocery store and how convenient they are. You know, you can stop in a grocery store just as easily as you can walk into a restaurant. And you can't drive through a grocery and buy a meal that allows you to stay in your car, but if you can get a meal without having to walk anywhere, then it's probably not worth having that meal anyway. So what can you pack? Hard-boiled eggs are great for protein. As a side note, eggs are not the devil. We were all duped when a couple of decades ago, someone brilliant decided that since eggs have cholesterol, it must cause cholesterol. And bingo, eggs are bad for you. And it was all over the news, and dietitians and doctors, and we all thought that eggs were bad for you, when really there was no study saying that there was. What else besides hard-boiled eggs? Edamame is good. You can just let it thaw naturally. Fruit, any kind of fruit, homemade healthy muffins, that would be better if you're used to getting like a coffee and a muffin or a coffee and a bagel. If you made your own muffins and put in some actually like healthy things into the muffins. Real Greek yogurt lightly salted or unsalted trail mix without the chocolate, because you don't want anything that will melt, and also that'd really be more like a dessert anyway. Dried oats, if you for the morning, then you can just add hot water or milk or muesli. Either of those things you can mix with hot water or milk. I love the individual packets of nut butters like Justin's or Artisana, and also individual packets of a healthy protein powder would be good as well. All of those things can be packed into a cooler, and some of them can even just be put into your car, and they're shelf stable, or they won't go bad, or they won't melt like a healthy protein powder. All of these items are great as snacks, but they can also be made into a meal or supplement your meal. So if you have to go to the Chick-fil-A or the Chick-fil-A and you need to get a sandwich, instead of getting fries, eat veggies and guacamole that you packed. I love the individual containers of wholly guacamole. I also love avocado mashed together with plain Greek yogurt. That makes an excellent low salt, good fat, high protein vegetable dip. I know that the Chick-fil-A has a fruit cup, and you could get that too. But getting the sandwich or whatever it is you really love at the fast food, if you don't want to completely give it up, and supplementing with the things that you brought in your cooler is much better for you. You could also just go into a grocery and grab a yogurt as a side and mix it in with your muesli or your oats that you brought. Whatever you do, stop keeping plastic water bottles in your car. Heat really degrades the plastic, and the phthalates, which are endocrine disruptors, can actually leach into the water. And besides the fact that you're drinking hot water and it's gross, having that bottle melt a little bit and then be okay, and then melt a little and be okay, is not good for you. So you want to use an aluminum or steel bottle, or something that's not going to leach, or glass bottle even would be better. So that's my health and productivity hack for the auto section. And just to ensure you that the book covers more than just the hacks that I'm giving, and the webinars, I'm just keeping the webinars short and giving you one from each area. So with parking, I want to talk about rental cars. I've gotten mixed up so many times with my rental car because I forgot which color I had, or even where I parked the car, what type of car. This especially happens when you're in multiple cities in a week and you have more than one car. And they also tend to give the same types of cars out, and very nondescript, and the same kind of colors even. So it's very hard to determine which car you have from day to day. I used to do the trick where I would try to open up trunks for the car to see, to remember when, and then when I would get a car without that function, I would kind of panic. Oh my gosh, how am I going to find my car? How will I remember? So when parking at the airport, like it's your car and you're leaving at the airport to go on a trip, always write the location of the aisle or the space on your ticket stub, because you'll need the ticket stub to get out. So you're not going to lose that location of the aisle. Alternatively, you could take a picture of where you're parked in the airport parking lot. And I do that a lot as well. At a hotel or a client space, if it's a big parking lot, taking a photo but including a landmark in it, like a tree or a sign, or take the photo from the door, when you walk to the door, you're leaving the parking lot, turning around and taking a picture so that when you come out, you have like a viewpoint of, okay, this is the aisle of where I parked. Really, really important. But it also reminds you of what type of car that you even rented. Because if you're just taking, a photo of the some big, section of a parking lot, without taking a photo of the car, you might forget even, which blue Honda Camry, or, which Camry it is. Sorry, not Honda Camry, Toyota Camry. But you'll be, you might forget even which one it is, and there might be 6 of them there. I really like the photo method because you can just delete the photo when you're done with it. And I know that there are apps out there for parking and, remember my parking spot or something like that. But I really try to have as few apps as possible. So I just take a photo and be done with it. But if you really want to get techie about it, you actually can use GPS tracking for your car, where you parked. You also want to put something to identify it as your car on the inside when you're renting it, whether it's a pen or an empty bottle or a piece of paper, something so that you don't drive off with someone else's rental. And I know that this has happened to at least 2 of my former staff members, where they were at a hotel, the valet brought them the wrong car, and they took it, and off they went, and it wasn't until later that they realized they were driving the wrong car. Another time, their key actually allowed them to get in the wrong car, and they almost left without it and noticed that there was a coat in the back seat. So, put something on there, but don't leave your rental information out. That just says, I'm visiting here, I'm renting this car, and it might leave you up for an uncomfortable situation with someone. You don't want people to know that you're traveling all the time. Your rental information you should keep with you or put it somewhere that's not visible. I usually would put it in the glove box, or if it had like a little console thing that opened up, I would put it there. So that's what I would do with my rental cars, to figure out how to find them and determine which ones were mine. So I hope that things on this short webinar based on auto health and productivity. For more hacks, you can go to marcyrader.com, MarceyRader, or click the link to the description in the Hangout for a free video series on hacks related to all the areas: air, hotel, auto, mobile office, parties, meetings, and home. For a copy of the book, there's also a link in the description. And if you're ready to up-level your traveling lifestyle, you can contact me at marcyrader.com. So thank you very much. High five, fist bump for taking part in my webinar today. And I'll see you next week where we'll cover mobile office. And you'll be taking steps to work well so you can play more.